The connection between the gut and the brain has become one of the most exciting areas in health science, and nowhere is this relationship more intriguing or more personally relevant than when it comes to sleep. While we often think of digestion and rest as separate processes, emerging research shows that the gut plays a surprisingly direct role in determining how well we sleep and how we feel while we're awake. At the heart of this connection is the gut microbiome, a vast, living ecosystem of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that work in constant dialogue with the brain. These microbes don't just digest food, they influence hormones, mood, inflammation, and, crucially, sleep-wake cycles. The more we understand this connection, the more empowered we become to use nutrition and gut health as tools for better, deeper, more restorative sleep. One of the clearest pathways between the gut and sleep lies in the production of neurotransmitters. Around 90% of the body's serotonin, a chemical involved in mood regulation and sleep, is produced in the gut. Serotonin is a precursor to melatonin, the hormone that signals the body when it's time to wind down and go to sleep. If the microbiome is imbalanced, serotonin production can be disrupted, leading not only to low mood but also to difficulties falling and staying asleep. This biological link helps explain why people with gut issues like IBS, leaky gut, or chronic bloating often report insomnia or poor sleep quality. The gut is not just passively reacting to food, it is actively shaping the brain's chemistry. Another key player in this conversation is inflammation. When the gut microbiome is thriving, it helps maintain a strong intestinal barrier and keeps inflammation in check. However, when harmful bacteria outnumber beneficial ones, a condition known as dysbiosis, low-grade inflammation can begin to spread throughout the body, including the brain. This systemic inflammation has been linked to disturbances in the sleep cycle, particularly in reducing the amount of deep, restorative sleep. People experiencing chronic inflammation often find themselves waking up in the night, feeling unrefreshed in the morning, or experiencing heightened anxiety at bedtime, all of which are symptoms that tie directly back to an unbalanced gut. What's uplifting, however, is how responsive the gut microbiome is to positive change. It begins with food. Diets rich in fiber, fermented foods, and diverse plant-based ingredients encourage the growth of beneficial bacteria. Foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso naturally contain probiotics that replenish the gut with health-promoting microbes. Prebiotic foods like garlic, onions, bananas, and oats feed those good bacteria, helping them thrive. When the gut is well-nourished, it returns the favor by supporting better hormone balance, lowering stress responses, and encouraging the deep, unbroken sleep that the body craves. Fermented foods, in particular, offer unique sleep-supporting benefits. Not only do they improve digestion, but some also contain naturally occurring GABA, a neurotransmitter that reduces neuronal excitability and promotes calm. GABA has a direct role in helping the body relax, quieting the mind, and preparing it for sleep. This calming effect can feel subtle at first, perhaps a slightly easier time falling asleep or fewer nighttime awakenings, but over time, the difference becomes increasingly noticeable. There's also growing evidence that the gut impacts our circadian rhythm through direct signaling between gut bacteria and the brain's sleep center. Gut microbes follow their own diurnal rhythms, becoming more or less active depending on the time of day, which in turn influences the body's sense of timing. When we eat irregularly, especially late at night, we can throw off not just digestion but our entire biological clock. Regular mealtimes, especially a light and early dinner, help the microbiome maintain a rhythm that supports melatonin production and better sleep timing. Stress, too, affects both gut and sleep in a cyclical pattern. When we are stressed, we produce more cortisol, which can disrupt digestion and alter the microbiome. A distressed gut then sends signals back to the brain that something is off, further impairing mood and sleep. But just as this loop can spiral downward, it can also spiral upward. Practices that calm the nervous system, like mindfulness, deep breathing, and even moderate exercise, don't just improve sleep directly, they also create a healthier gut environment. A calm mind helps the gut stay balanced, and a balanced gut keeps the mind calm. This mutual support becomes one of the most powerful, sustainable ways to improve sleep quality. Ultimately, the gut is a surprisingly intimate part of how we rest and recover. It responds to what we feed it, how we feel emotionally, and the patterns of our daily life. When we tend to it, by choosing whole, fiber-rich foods, adding fermented options, avoiding excessive sugars and processed ingredients, and managing stress, we set the stage for better sleep. The rewards of this investment are profound. People often report not only sleeping more deeply, but also waking with more clarity, steadiness, and emotional resilience. It's a beautiful reminder that sleep is not just about turning off, it's about being in harmony with our internal systems. And one of the most important systems of all lies within our gut. When we care for this internal garden, we create the conditions for rest to unfold naturally, night after night, supported from the inside out.